Hey everybody, good afternoon. This is Chintwa, your happiness specialist, coming to you live from New York. Welcome to another episode of our coffee shop chat, helping you redesign your life to fulfill its divine purpose. And if you are law enforcement, military veterans, and firefighters, if you're any one of those, I help you redesign your life to fulfill its divine purpose. Now, the reason for that is, for myself, being a veteran and also recently retired from the police department, I know for a fact that, if you served, and in the case of the Marine Corps, right, you reach your EAS, end of active service, and you leave, then what do you do once you finish that, or you finish a 20-30 year career? What do you do? There's still life after the Marine Corps. There's still life after the police department, right? So what do you do? Before we dive into that, the title of this video is, oh my God, I've just been pushed out of my comfort zone. Now what do I do? I've just been pushed out of my comfort zone. Right? So what is that about? So the group I just mentioned, law enforcement, military veterans, and firefighters, these are the core group of people that I really want to help. Mainly, especially with the police department. If you've ever been a police officer, maybe people know this or maybe they don't, but I'm going to share a secret with you. This is a trade secret. Most police officers don't trust anything that people tell them. Most police officers believe that everybody lies to them. And you know what? That's just how it is, right? Because you don't want to be taken for a sucker, that someone put one over you, or that somebody took you for a fool by you, taking whatever crappy story they tell you, when you stop them or whatever, in your encounter. But that's not to say that everybody, is a liar or lies when they meet police officers. But I'm just giving you a trade secret that most police officers don't believe what you tell them. If you say, oh, I forgot my driver's license at home, I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but there's a reason I'm giving you that, that bit of information. Hey, I forgot my driver's license at home. That's why I don't have it on me. Chances are that person doesn't have a driver's license, or that driver's license is suspended. Right. So being police officers, having that sense not to believe everything that they're told, when it comes to building a business from home or online or whatever, most police officers or law enforcement people as a whole don't trust, most of the things they see online. It's called healthy skepticism. Everybody has that. But to a larger extent, police officers don't. But yours truly had to, grow out of that. I had to grow out of, thinking that way, because I knew there was life after I was done with the police department. I knew there was life after I was finished, with the 4 years active that I did in the Marine Corps. I knew there was life after that, right? So I knew there was something more that I wanted to do with my life. I knew I still had something to give. I still had something, that I can serve people with, or something with which I can serve people. All right, if you want to get technical with grammar. So when you come on, let me know where you are living in from. I will give you a shout out. What I'm going to do here, I'm doing this for my fan page. The other day I was able to actually, invite people. So I don't know. Let me see. Okay. I think just inviting people. I don't know if it's to invite people to come watch or be in my video, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see who pops in. I'm going to do this real quickly because there's an international webinar that I'm going to, participate in at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to make this point. Ed caught my ear, caught my attention. And Hold on one second. There's a glare coming from outside. I don't like that. It's kind of it's messing with me. I don't like that. All right, a little better. Okay, that really hit home for me. Rich said this. He said when he started out that he. All right, we're back. Thanks for still hanging on. Rich said this. He said when he started out in his own business, trying to generate income from home, that he used to play small. He was playing small, and that reflected on the results reflected that. And when he said that, it resonated with me to the point where I said to myself, "Oh my God, that's me." Because from the time that I started, even things that a lot of people were, doing very well with, that I was participating in, yours truly was not seeing seeing very little or no results. Right? One of the main reasons was because I was playing small. I was playing it safe. I was just dipping my foot in. I wasn't, really investing in myself the way I was supposed to. Because if you're in a business, be it offline, online, whatever, you have to be fully invested in yourself, because they say that investing in yourself is the best investment that you can ever make. And you can't invest in yourself if you're afraid, and if you're tiptoeing, if you're playing small. You have to play big, right? Without playing big, you're going to keep seeing little or no results. And it doesn't matter what business you go into, because there's another saying that goes like this: wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. Because it's the same person that you're taking from one business that didn't work to another one that didn't work to another shiny object that didn't work to the next one, right? Is this making sense? All right, is this resonating with you? If it is, just drop a 1 so I know it's resonating with you. Oh, by the way, if you see this as a replay, let me know that you watched it as a replay and dropping the hashtag replay. All right, let me know if you got value as well, right? So wherever you go, there you are. I heard that a long time ago, and that messed with my mind, right? So I realized that I was playing small. I realized that what Rich was talking about, he was really talking to me. He didn't know that at the time, that he was talking to me, even though he was telling his story of how he began, how his playing small affected his business. And that was me, right? So fast forward, after I tried a gazillion different things, and every single one of them, I was playing small. I wasn't taking enough risk. I wasn't, investing enough in myself, although I was still learning. I was still doing, but I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't fully engaged as opposed to investing in myself. I was still tiptoeing and expecting a different result. What's that they say? That insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. It just doesn't work, right? So when Rich said that, it really hit home for me. So fast forward, when I got involved in this blueprint, right? Not only was it different in that the information that was in the blueprint I had never seen before. No one had ever shared that before. No guru, no expert, no whatever. No mentor had ever shared that info before, where they said, hey, listen, I struggled like you. Here's what you're going to have to do. If you're struggling to learn how to generate leads, if you're struggling to learn how to get people to join your business, if you're struggling to learn how to get people to buy from you, you have to do X, Y, Z. And you have to do this, this, and that. And that was in this thing called the Profit Boosting Bootcamp, right? Within this system, right? I had never heard that before. I had never seen that before. This gentleman, his name is Misha Wilson. I was blessed enough to meet him in Arizona recently, right? The week of April 13th that I just referred to. So, by the way, when you come on, let me know where you're living in from. I'll give you a shout out. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, we're talking about, oh my God, I've been pushed out of my comfort zone, right? So I'm getting to that part about being pushed out of my comfort zone. I'm telling the story about how, thank you, I appreciate you, Nicole, how I was playing small, when I first got started, and even up until, say, 8 months ago, right? When a friend of mine introduced me to this digital franchise Blueprint, Takia. She's the one that introduced it to me, right? And if you've been listening to me for a while, if you've been seeing me for a while, you know the story of what I said to her, that my plate was full, that I didn't have room for anything else. And she said, hey, just take a look. Do me a favor as a friend. I know we're both in the same, business together. I just found this thing and I think it's amazing, but do me a favor and take a look at it and let me know what you think. And because she was a friend, I did that. And the rest is history. So up until that point, no one had shown me that, hey, this is what I needed to do to generate leads, and it actually works. This is what I needed to do in order to get people to buy from you, and it worked. And this is what I needed to do in order for people to join your business, and it worked. And that was all laid inside of this profit boosting bootcamp. I had never heard of that before. I had never seen anything like that before. And this dude, Misha Wilson, was so open, so honest. He was keeping no secrets. He was holding nothing back. He said, hey, I want you to succeed because without you, I will not succeed. But I don't want you to struggle like I did. I don't want you to go through the same kind of pains that I did. I made this discovery based on what I learned from my mentors. And this is what I found out. This is what worked. He said, take this blueprint and run with it. If you apply everything that, even a part of what I'm going to show you in this blueprint, in this profit boosting bootcamp, you can guarantee yourself a win. And that is so true because the first couple of days after I joined, I signed somebody up. Somebody joined. I was dancing up and down because I had never really had that happen before, right? And when I applied the formula for generating leads, boom, same thing. I had never had people, so many people opt in to what I had before. I used to struggle. I used to wonder how everybody else was doing it. And I'm telling you, struggling is not a good place you want to be. It's not a place you want to be in your business. Unless as part of learning. But if you're learning, trying to get something going, and nothing is working because nobody's, giving you the right info, that's not a good struggle. Because that struggle will lead to frustration, and that frustration will lead you to disgust, and that disgust will lead you to quitting. And once you quit, you failed. But until then, if you keep going because you have the right tool in your back pocket or even in your front pocket, you can't fail. So, being pushed out of my comfort zone, like I said, I had, once I realized what I had in the Profit Boosting Bootcamp, I upgraded right away. I believe it was within, inside of 15 days, inside of 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I believe. Right? I upgraded because I saw the value of what was in there. I finally realized that, hey, if I even applied a tiny bit of what Misha Wilson was teaching, that success was not a matter of choice for me at that time, that it's going to happen. So I upgraded to what they call Pro, right? And then, a funny story, because when I upgraded to Pro, I had actually, because I joined in September, and my goal was to go Pro in November, sometime November. When I spoke to my coach, I told her, hey, around November 20th, that was my plan. Because at that point, I really had no idea where the investment was going to come from to go pro in 2 months. But lo and behold, something happened. I was saving some money to go on a vacation with my wife. It was a vacation savings we were putting away. Guess what happened? But I knew that I had to look to the future, right? So right there and then, I was thinking about all kinds of things, whether to, get a loan or borrow from somebody, all kinds of stuff. But then it hit me. I said, hey, by the way, you're putting away money for a vacation. I had enough between the two accounts. So that was my pro investment right there. I went and grabbed it, called my coach. I went pro inside of 3 weeks. Literally 2 months before I was planning on doing it. So now, as I moved in the process, as I went through the process, applying what I was learning, generating, being able to generate leads on demand, basically, because generating leads on demand is anytime you want to generate leads, you apply that solo ad success formula. That's what I've been doing. On top of building relationships, connecting with people on social media. That's how I was building my list and, bringing in leads on demand. So as I was moving forward with that and learning and being more and more a part of my community, by the way, I believe we have the best community online in Laptop Lifestyle Freedom Tribe. All right, you can tell them I said so, right? So, Nicole, you know what I'm talking about. So that was pro. So now fast forward, I knew I wanted to do Maui. I knew I wanted to go Maui because Misha talked about leveraging and positioning. 2 words, leveraging and positioning. Those 2 words together was the beginning of me getting out of my comfort zone. I knew right there and then that I wanted to go Maui. But I didn't have the funding. I didn't have the investment right away. So what did yours truly do? Because I wanted to make the sacrifice, because I knew what I had in my hands. I knew the direction I wanted to go with this. I was fed up of playing small. I was done with playing small. So guess what I did? Don't tell anybody. I took out what they called pension loan, because I had that available to me. So with that, I went Maui. And Maui happened the month that I was supposed to go pro. Did you get that? Pro came way before I had planned it. And Maui, which is at a higher level, came the time I had planned to go pro. Can you say positioning? If you love what you just heard, just type in the word positioning. Right? So, moving fast forward, right? An amazing event came up in Arizona, right? Where everyone got together, from everybody that was in this digital franchise, from around the world, people from Australia, people from faraway islands, right? Europe, all over the United States, came to this event, in the immersion event in Phoenix, Arizona, right? There was a ton of value. People that I had, been meeting online, people I had connected with online. A lot of them, a few of them I had met in person from other events. But a majority of the people that I had spoken to online, I had never met in person. But at this event, I was able to see and touch and hug every single one of them. From the CEO of this blueprint, Misha Wilson, to the supporting, what I call the supporting team, the support team of the company. Everyone was there. The energy, the synergy, the power of that event, you could really, really reach out and touch it. That's how powerful it was. Right? So what happened, there was another level that I wanted to go into, which is called all in, right? which is outside of my comfort zone. Now, mind you, I was moving slowly out of my comfort zone by going pro and going Maui. Now, the next step was all in. A lot of my friends went all in at the event. A lot of them didn't know it. Actually, some of them thought that I went all in at the event. But yours truly was so heartbroken. I was dejected somewhat, but you wouldn't know it by my enthusiasm, that I couldn't go all in at that moment, at the event, like a lot of them did. But I had all in on my mind. So when I got back home, I dug in, started applying what I was learning, and what I learned from the event. From what everybody that got up on stage talked about, what they taught, what their experiences were, how they came about, what their journey was, right? All those things I started applying a little by little. And then, what do you know? It just hit me a couple of days ago. I said, you know what? I think it's time to, really get pushed out of my comfort zone. Is this still resonating with you? If it is, just drop a 3 for me. I don't know if I did too. If it's still resonating with you, drop 3. So I know it's resonating, right? Remember those 2 words, positioning and leveraging, right? So I called my coach. I had spoken